Hi everyone, welcome back to Carp Catch TV, and this week we're at Old Mill Fisheries.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear, driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear, like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun, running, running, no.
Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me. And as I say, today we're on Old Mill Lakes and we're fishing the Oak Lake. It's a complex of 4 lakes. You've got the Birch, the Alder, the Willow and the Runswater, which is called the Oak Lake. We're 24 hours into our session at the moment. Yesterday was an absolute washout. We got here just before the rain hit and then it didn't stop for about 5 hours. We were bivvy bound then. Managed to get through yesterday though, to be fair. Just as the rain was easing off, the rods start to rip off. So let's go back and show you the first fish. Right, and so after a few hours this afternoon of absolute rain non-stop, the first rod's gone and just weighed it, 22 pounds. It's a nice common. It's a good start in these conditions. The rain's just stopping now, so the forecast is dry from here on out. So, there you go, first fish of the trip. And a PVA bag of mixed pellets. And a krill active wafter. Right, so fish number 2, a mirror this time. Put a bit of water on him. I'd say, looking at mid doubles here. Same again, it was the second solid bag. I've only cast out twice and it's given me 2 fish so far, so looks like it could be a good session. There you go. So with the second fish back in the water, it was time to tie up some rigs and get ready for the night ahead. First fish was a 22 pounder and the second fish was approximately about 15 pounds, and the one after that was another chunky one, about 14 pounds. Nice fish though, all of them, and I was getting them on the solid bags I was. So I've baited up an area since, not too far out, only a third of the way out, which is about 11 wraps, and I've gone for like a pellet approach because it's a pellet and boilie rule on here. So I've put the bait out there, but in all fairness, it was the PVA bags that got every single fish. So I've kept the bags on, but I'm just going to fish a PVA bag just off the baited patch and just to see what happens there. And the other rod is just a single PVA bag out there on its own. You can fish 3 rods here, but I've just opted to fish for the 2 and see how it goes. Mike's with me today and he's fishing a couple of pegs down in the corner. And he's fishing the 3 rods. He's got a couple of boilies on 2 of them, and he's gone for the same approach as me, a wafter and a PVA bag, and he's hoping to get on the mark today. He had a little bit of a run last night, but he struck into nothing basically. I had a similar thing as well early this morning, where the bobbin was just going, it was going, and then when you strike it, there's just nothing there. Like, we've got 24 hours left. Hopefully the fish turn on. It didn't start catching yesterday till about 4 o'clock. And we got here for 11 o'clock, so I'd say we was in the bivvies for 4 or 5 hours, just sitting there watching the rain. I've gone through 3 pairs of clothes in 24 hours, which is not normal. But the forecast today is overcast, which is perfect weather, quite low pressure, and tomorrow's going to be nice and sunny, so it should dry all our gear out just before we go home. Like, so let's hope we can get another fish on the bank.
Morning guys, decided to fish the main body of the lake. One eventful night for me last night. 2 guys rocked up just after I'd set up and put a good bit of bait out. Fortunately for me, in the middle of the night they caught my lines. I had an uneventful sleep, no fish whatsoever. Felt a little bit overcrowded, so took a walk this morning. Managed to find a good body of fish down in the bottom right hand corner. So I've packed up all my gear. I've set up in a new spot. I've put 3 good beds of bait out. So hopefully finding the fish will result in a couple of fish later on in the session.
Right then, so it's 12 o'clock now and nothing's really happened for the last hour. So apart from putting that bait out last night, I've not really got much bait out there. So I'm going to spom a bit more out there, try and get it settled in the next hour or 2. Hopefully the fish will turn onto it. And as I say, keep that solid bag just off the bait. And then keep a solid bag singly out there, because that's what's caught the fish, just in case the bait does spook them. So sometimes people just like cast in the middle, stick a load of spoms out there, and it's not always the way on these runs waters, like, because they see a lot of pressure. Sometimes the bait, it spooks them, and then once the bait starts to get washed out a couple of days later, they might get on it then. It doesn't always work that way, you know what fishing's like. Fishing contradicts itself quite a lot. So one person might swear by one method and the other person might swear totally opposite of what he said, and they might just both catch the same. So, always stick to what you're comfortable doing, I think, with fishing. And I think a bit more bait now, and then just rest it. And then, if they turn on, you might be able to keep the fish there, where if you're doing solid bags, literally you're fishing for 1 bite at a time, you know what I mean? Like, so you might catch a fish here and there, but if you do put a bed of bait out and the fish get onto it, then you can get multiple catches by, topping it up with a couple of spoms every couple of fish, and you can get multiple hits that way. So get a bit of bait out there and see how it goes. Right then, just caught another one on the spot with the single solid bag away from the bait. So that's telling me something at the moment. Mike is fast asleep. He's dead to the world, so I'm not going to wake him up for it. Let's see what we got. All the fish get caught in sand here because the water's quite low at the moment, and the bank's at the end are proper sandy, so all the fish they'll get covered in the sand as you land them. Oh. Yeah, nice scaly one. That's probably about just over 10 pound maybe. Just go to show that the solid bags are working now. So to be fair, I was just about to reel the rods in as well because they've been out there for quite a bit now. And it just went, so good job I never did it. Right, just getting back. Try and catch something bigger.
Whispers in my mind, I slowly drifting by. All the poems I wrote for you, they made me blind, they made me lie.
So it's the end of the day now and it's pitch black outside. I've just caught another one, but unfortunately getting it from the net to the sling, it got away from us, didn't it? It was a nice fish as well, to be fair. It was dead dark. It was probably the nicest one of the trip so far. I'm a bit gutted, to be fair. I wanted a picture with that one. There you go. That's just the way it goes, isn't it? Like, we got it in the net. It was netted, but it was just putting it from the net to the sling, and the bank's really shallow, so I've got my trainers on. Should have put my waders on really, so I could go out a little bit, and it would have been a lot easier. But because I was stretching, it just slipped from the net, and it just went, didn't it? But I'm going to get my head down now for a bit, and then try and get up early tomorrow and catch the morning. See if we can get any more.
Morning all. It's been a tough old couple of days. Last day of our 48-hour session. I've had absolutely nothing till this morning, and I've had 3 blistering runs, managed to catch 2. This is the biggest of the 2 up to now. Hopefully they've managed to find the baited spots, and got a couple of hours left of the session and we can wankle a couple more out.
So it's the last morning now, and it's good to see Mike getting into some of the fish. He's had 3 runs in 30 minutes, so they've definitely come onto his spot. He did put quite a lot of pellet in there yesterday, and he just said bait and wait basically. Trying loads of different approaches, solid bags here and there, but they just wasn't in his area at the time, but now they are, so happy days. I went the rods in last night because after losing that one from the sling, I just wanted a bit of sleep as well, and it was just, I don't know, bring them in, and then I've got up crack of dawn and I've got them back out on solid bags. To be fair, I'm expecting one after seeing what Mike's just got, the action. I am expecting one before we leave, hopefully. It's been a beautiful morning. Sun's coming up now. Let's just hope everything can dry out in time. So we've got about 3.5 hours left. It was a wet night last night, but if this sun does come out, like, it should dry everything up. So happy days. Right, and that's the end of our session. I think I had 8 bites in the end, managed to land 5. 1 escaped at the sling, unfortunately. Mike had 3, landed 2, 3 bites, landed 2. It was a good session. Like, it's a good lake to get a few runs. Birch behind me is the specimen lake here, can't go up to 50 pounds. So, you know, it's got a bit of everything here. Like, I think the Willow's like the in-between lake where there's plenty of 30s, but maybe a 40 in there as well. So if you want to try and get a few runs, get yourself on Oak Lake, and I'll see you in the next video.